Morning. We are shining light on this story right here in Connecticut nearly 75 years ago. A group of young men from Puerto Rico helped the U.S. win a pivotal battle in the Korean War. The 65th Infantry Regiment is the Army's only all-Hispanic unit. Now, the men were known as the Borinqueneers, but despite their bravery, they were not recognized as heroes. Well, this morning we are sharing how people here in Connecticut are working to give them their flowers and keep their history alive.
So I was petrified with mine in my hands.
The one on the left was blown to pieces. The head blown, the tummy blown.
Though many of the Borinqueneer veterans have passed, Connecticut has made sure their legacy lives on. New Britain is home to the largest monument in the country honoring those veterans of the 65th Infantry Regiment. State Rep Bobby Sanchez instrumental in getting it placed here.
A motorcycle group called the Borinqueneers MC came up to the Capitol and they wanted to erect a monument on Monument Park near the State Armory.
We have 3 of the original Borinqueneers who have since passed away, but at the time that we met them, we made sure that they were okay, whatever they needed, and we kind of helped bring out the name Borinqueneers and who they were and what they fought for and where they fought.
It was turned down, unfortunately.
But all was not lost. Rep Sanchez says the Borinqueneers MC kept fighting for the monument. In his district, a plot of land where Farmington Avenue and Washington Streets intersected was about to be redeveloped.
And I said, what a great spot to put up this monument.
With support from the city's mayor and state funding, the city of New Britain broke ground on the project in 2017.
Never did we think it was going to look like this.
And I just kept on looking up in the heavens and saying to my uncles, look at this. If you were alive today, I mean, they would have been so emotionally and so happy to see this.
Rep Sanchez's 2 uncles, Raymond Amaez Rios and Francisco Pico Vega, were Borinqueneers.
One of my uncles was wounded 3 times. He remembers trying to run up a hill. He got shot once in the shoulder. Then he got shot again in the leg, and then another time in the stomach, and while he was trying to fight. And he lay there with his gun, still ready to continue to move on because that's how they were. My other uncle fought all the way through. He said we had to protect our men, and that's what he did. They were very honored to serve the country.
Rep Sanchez says they also faced discrimination.
He kind of was called different names because of the color of his skin as well.
Despite the challenges they encountered, Rep Sanchez says they carried an immense sense of pride defending our country and would do it again. For years, the efforts of the Borinqueneers were not recognized. Those who survived also returned from war to discrimination at home. In 2014, President Obama awarded the men, many of them in their 80s and 90s at the time, with a Congressional Gold Medal.
They cried because one of the things that they told us was, we never knew that anyone would ever know us or recognize us. And when they were recognized in Washington, D.C. for their honor, for their bravery, and for what they did, I think it came to a culmination for themselves that they truly were part of history, and what they did mean something.
Connecticut students are learning about the Borinqueneers and other Latino history at school through the implementation of a Black and Latinos Studies course. Governor Ned Lamont signed that into law in 2019. New Haven native and author Talia Akins Nunez.
You'll see different spotlights about different soldiers.
Is also keeping that history alive.
Some men were found up to 18 years of hard labor.
Through her book, Men of the 65th. The Borinqueneers of the Korean War.
I was at a family gathering with my husband's family. One Christmas Eve, his grandfather was there, and he showed me this medal. And then I asked him, like, you know, what war were you in? And he said the Korean War with the famed 65th. And I felt ashamed, like embarrassed, because I'd never heard of them.
Akins Nunez combed through research and created her book with young adults in mind. However, she encourages everyone to learn the history.
The reason I tell people, like, history in general, it's important to know about all of these things so that when there are other decision points in our country, we remember where we fell short in certain places so we don't fall short in those places again. So we don't go back to similar practices, so we continue to move forward.
Really had a great time meeting with those people to find out more about the Borinqueneers. It was something I was not aware about, even though I haven't been here that long. But it is great to see their legacies live on through the Borinqueneers MC motorcycle group, who works to just keep that story alive and honor them. And I believe they had some of the veterans with them at the most recent Puerto Rican parade here in Hartford.
Don't feel bad. I had not heard of the Borinqueneers either.
Say.
So I started just doing some quick internet research. I saw towards the end of your story one medal that said they go all the way back to 1899 to the World War I. But
yes.
On the U.S. Army website, I had trouble believing this was true. In just the Korean War alone, the Borinqueneers were responsible for 2,771 Purple Heart Awards. Wow. Just in the 65th there. Almost 3,000 Purple Hearts.
Yeah.
That's a testament to their valor,
For sure.
like you said,
Yeah,
for their
for
bravery,
sure.
being some of the first ones in the combat there.
It's so impactful that you're able to do this story because, as Lourdes had said, and we heard her saying that, the group, just they thought they would never get the recognition that they did, the sacrifice that they made, that they thought it would never be seen, that they would never have their story told.
Right, and then that monument, the largest here in the mainland U.S., right here in Connecticut, over in New Britain, paid a visit.
Yeah.
And when you see those boots, the little statues there with the boots and the guns, each one symbolizes the wars that the Borinqueneers participated in. So that's World War I, World War II, and the Korean War.
It's great that it's here in Connecticut. Of course, a big part of the Puerto Rican diaspora here in Connecticut, so it is a fitting place to have that tribute symphony.
Stephanie, thank you so much.